On Mars it once appeared as lava. On Jupiter it's just a spinning cloud, but they could be the same energy. Okay, let's pick this up where Dick left off. He, along with all other investigators, have overlooked something quite obvious. That being, that excluding Bolivia's Acapana Pyramid, all of the super high-rise pyramids of the Western Hemisphere were built between 19 and 20 degrees north of the equator, along our own terrestrial energy belt. The 4 million square foot Sinsunsan Pyramid, the 1.1 million square foot Cholula Pyramid, the Quiquilco Pyramid, the West's only conical supermonument, the entire ancient city of Teotihuacan and its pyramids, and even the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. Notice also that all of the other Mayan, Olmec, and Toltec sites of consequence occur within only a few degrees of latitude from this natural energy zone. None occur north of the 21st parallel, and none are found south of Copan. That only follows, as to build anything of permanence south of Copan would have been courting disaster, because below that is the Caribbean tectonic plate, and these ancients weren't dumb enough to build on fault zones. These Mexican and Guatemalan pyramid sites are trying to tell us something about the most powerful energies in nature, things that we are not yet aware of. Embarrassing, not? Our grandfathers have forgotten more than we are even able to recognize. We should keep in mind the fact that when the North Pole was down on Akpatak Island in Canada, the Earth was tilted drastically from what we know today. Quite normal to they who lived in those days, but all out of whack by our standards. This is easily demonstrated. The next time you have a spare globe of the Earth handy, there's a little shop project you can do with it. Remove it from its mount and re-drill the North Pole on Canada's Akpatak Island in Ungava Bay. You will have to re-drill the South Pole as well, exactly 180 degrees opposite. It won't be on the Antarctic continent anymore, but rather out in the Indian Ocean. Does the Perry-Reese map of an ice-free Antarctica make a little more sense now? Then put the globe back in its mount, and see the true Ice Age world for what it was. When you do, notice that the equator of that period was 30 degrees further south, down in Chile. On the opposite side of the world, it was 30 degrees further to the north. China's pyramid fields, today at 34 degrees of latitude, were then at only 4 degrees, very close to the equator. But of greater interest are how the parallels of latitude then influenced the Middle East. We've all been taught that Ice Age people were savages. No math, no sciences, no sense of order, just a bunch of hunters and berry pickers. Sorry about that. I'm glad I wasn't the one selling all that nonsense to our children. Code buffs have seen this before. The modern map showing the layout of the pyramid fields at Giza, with the Great Pyramid centered at 29 degrees, 58 minutes, 51 seconds north latitude. That's now, today. But when the Akpatak North Pole was the order of the day, and the Earth was tilted as previously shown, guess where the Earth's energy zone was then? Giza. 19.5 degrees north of the Ice Age equator. And Giza's pyramids were already in place, sucking up all the juice. Hey, don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Find a globe of the Earth and measure the distance between Akpatak Island and Giza. 70.5 degrees. Then subtract that from the then 90-degree Akpatak pole. 19.5 degrees will remain. The globe doesn't lie. The maps don't lie. Only history does, with its urging that Egypt's pyramids were built by pharaohs only 4,000 odd years ago. If that had any substance to it, Giza's pyramids would now be down in northern Sudan at our 19.5 degree energy zone. Or about where those virtually unknown Sudanese pyramids are, or used to be. They don't get a lot of publicity these days. Too small, too ruined, and in an out-of-the-way third world country that seems to be getting closer to fourth. Yet, what kind of energy is it that concentrates itself along the 19-degree 30-minute parallel? Obviously, it is an upwelling from a planet's interior. It is too powerful to be seen here on Earth. Yet over on Jupiter, it's able to punch its way through its crushing gravity and leave its signature in the clouds 200 miles up. On Mars, it seems to have exhausted itself through Olympus Mons. Here on Earth, it's also venting itself through Hawaii's Kilauea volcano, which also situates itself at 19.5 degrees of latitude. Kilauea has been upchucking liquid rock almost continuously now since 1984, as the pent-up energy in our own energy band tries to relieve itself. Is that what happened over on Mars? Did it burn itself out? Are we in for the same scenario over here on Earth? The reason I have to ask that is because of Hawaii's global position. I didn't notice it until I drew the parallels on my Ice Age globe, but Hawaii lies on an intersect with the Ice Age 20th parallel. The only other place this happens is over in the African nation of Niger. 20 degrees north, then and now. Hawaii, then, has been basking in this 19.5 degree energy belt not only for 12,000, but for 48,000 years, back to the beginning of the Akpatak Ice Age. Hence, has to be one of the most powerful energy points on Earth, or weakest, depending upon one's viewpoint. But Kilauea does show us something that we've all missed: anti-gravity in motion. All of the Earth's volcanoes have erupted at one time or another, or they wouldn't be there. But those located in the 19.5 degree energy band may be trying to tell us something extra special. If volcanoes can show us anti-gravity by throwing up liquid rock, shouldn't it be possible to so lift solid rock? There are oral traditions of such back in antiquity, and are still maintained today. Along the Ice Age energy belt, as it ran across Giza, we have all those 2 to 20-ton stone blocks in its pyramids, and we haven't yet figured out how they were moved. Just our own primitive belief systems involving wooden rollers and ramps. Only 1 degree to the north, on the Ice Age globe, is Lebanon and its Baalbek site. Same problem in understanding. There we find the largest dressed stone ever discovered. It weighs an estimated 2,000 tons. Even we can't move it. This energy band, during the Ice Age, when the equator was down toward the bottom of South America, was very close to sacred Inca sites like Cuzco and Sacsayhuaman, where we find all those great cyclopean stones. Surviving